Alright guys, bit of a wet day today. Had a shave all over and I'll show you what we're up to. Just going to clear along this side of the house. See if we can pull all this out. It's just spread over the years. I've already started up at that end and it just comes from this plant, sort of layering down and then creeping along. And Steve's in the back. I'll show you what he's up to later. Alright, it's pretty rainy still. Customer's given me a coffee and it's very nice actually. We're going down this border, so this is at the back of the garden where the vegetable patch is. It's a big old vegetable patch. That's the Christmas tree we planted. We're going to go along this border. We're going to chop down, I think they're dog rose. I'm going to chop them down a bit. I know they've already started to sprout, so we're a bit behind. But we're going to clear through stuff like this as well, and there's some nice little flowers coming out, but there are quite a few weeds in here, so lots of grass, and there is a lot of buttercup, and there's some giant buttercup here which is the world's worst. Well, it's not a great weed because it spreads very easily. There it is. There it is, that's a good example of it. That's the leaf. It just spreads like no one's business, especially through the winter. It's a mad one. You can leave one in and there'll be 10 by the time you come back in the spring. So we'll show you what it looks like near the end. Okay, it's still pretty wet, so what we've been doing is clearing along the edge and pulling things out. There was one of these dog roses just growing out of this stone, so I've pulled that out. We've had some saplings, several saplings in there, tree saplings that are trying to grow, that we pull out, and then just clearing along the border. And then these are the ones that Steve sort of cut down a bit, so they're looking good. And then we've got up to about midway, 2/3 of the way, we've got these to chop down next time. Something really interesting that there's the robin that follows us about in here. Here we go. I've found the first signs of wild garlic, and that's exciting because it smells amazing, and there's a little flurry down there, those leaves. So the first signs of wild garlic, and I'll show you what I did on the patio as well. This is that bit that I've cleared through, and I tried pulling them out where possible, and they were a bit stuck into the wall with really long roots, if you saw that clip. And then we've sort of cleared around this area to continue the work we did on those two beds previously, just make the patio look nice. But this is a really interesting flower I want to show you. It's a camellia, but I've not really seen this colour before. It's got quite a ruffled interior to the flower, and then white on the outside, and it's a little bit yellowy in the middle, and so that looks really nice. And it's got plenty more flowers to come out, and they've got lots of really nice looking hellebores as well. There's one down there. Oh, mother load of wild garlic in there. Can you see? Pretty much all those leaves you can see are wild garlic. Okay, wonder if the customer knows that. And then we've got these sort of green hellebores, green flowers, and then some really interesting purple ones. So they were, whoa, look at that colour, can't see that from above. And they've got all these interesting coloured hellebores all the way along this border. Here's another one that's like pink, interesting, and a really rich kind of red maroony one, and that's the inside, like a white inside. We'll just have a look at the others because they're very interesting. Wow, this one's like a double petal. They're very unusual. And then there's a white one here. Haven't seen many white ones. So these are proper specimen hellebores along this border, loads of them. And then we finish with another camellia with this flower. And not so many flowers because I gave it a good chop back last year, really good chop back. And then the magnolias have started coming out, so there's a magnolia here, but I've seen some already in flower. In fact, yes, look, they've got one of these amazing white flowered magnolias, and they put on a huge amount of colour. They just cover the tree. And there's another one up here that is just starting to come out, and this looks very nice, very, very beautiful. The flower's a bit more ruffled. So this is just coming out. Lots of colour. This garden will be amazing as we follow it through the season, so join us on that journey. Yeah, Steve's out the front blowing, so we'll go on to the next one. We're at the next garden, and we're a bit chilly and damp, but I'll show you what we're doing today. There's this border all the way up there. Customer says it generally tends to get left a bit over the years and given last priority because it is a bit of a rough patch, and so we're going to get stuck into this and see if we can bring it back to dirt. And we'll see how far we get today. There's quite a lot to pull out there. It's really infested. Not sure what that is. It looks like a plant that would be worth keeping, but they just like it to be a bare border. And I'm gonna mow today. We haven't mowed yet this year, but I think it might just give it a bit of a neater look, so you'll have to let me know what you think at the end. This will be the view of before, and then we'll see about the back as well. We'll show you the daffodils up there. They're looking amazing actually, really nice big flush of colour, but we'll show you them closer up. I'm going to get on with mowing. Steve's out the front blowing, so I'll do the front bit of grass in a minute, but this is the back. We'll show you what it looks like at the end. Still raining. This is the view from the end of the garden, so the other way up. So I can see quite clearly here we're getting through a bit of grass on this side, neaten it up, pick up all the leaves and all the bits that have dropped onto it. But I'll show you what it's like when it's pretty wet. And I just walked past the customer's drain pipe, goes up down the back of the house. That's how much water's coming out, making a bit of a pool here. It's not really going anywhere. Drain pipe in there, coming across the patio and draining out down here. You can see things sort of moving in it, and it's seeping down into the grass, which is good. Though this customer, so we're halfway through by the way, looks alright. This customer wants moss to grow in his grass, and it is very mossy. It's mostly moss with a little bit of grass growing through. So he said he likes the thought of it being soft on his feet, which sounds really cool. Alright, carry on. Alright, that's the back finished, and I'll just give you a little walk along. Probably worth doing, I think. Made it look quite nice and neat. You can see where the grass is a bit more prevalent here, and the moss gets thicker and thicker over here. Alright, we'll go out the front, show you what it looks like. Okay, there's the front garden. So looks nice. It's a lot neater and tidier. We did actually blow a load of leaves on from the driveway, so the mow was a common sense thing, just to act as a hoover to suck everything up, so that was well worth it. I've noticed a beautiful forsythia here. Might be a good one to sort of take cuttings from. Ultimately, it's my favourite plant, one of. Beautiful, quite a big one as well, and then it goes into the bush up there, little flush of colour. But I'll show you these daffodils because this is probably one of the better displays I've seen for a while. They've really multiplied out. Look at that. I'll just change the light set. No, probably a bit overexposed, but there's some more things here, some tiny little tulips that are just about to come out, and then more daffodils, and then there's a hyacinth coming up over here, which is a very nice colour. It's got like a variegated purple leaf growing in amongst this rose. I've pruned that rose back. And then there's one last thing that's very unusual. It's this thing, it's a delicate little thing. That's what the stem looks like. And it's got these tiny little white flowers, and the leaves are just coming out. So that's what's out in this garden. There's not a lot going on in this border apart from the roses. Pretty prolific rose garden, and then that beautiful forsythia at the end. So, and here's their little bit of lawn in the front drive from the top. I think the light catches it a bit better from below, but looking good. On to the next one. Oh, well, I just forgot to show you this bit. So we've started down this border. Steve spent a long time clearing the driveway, but this is a tricky one. It's just coming out in big clumps, and we've been running out of space in the bins, so we'll continue down here next time, but looking good so far. Alright, back in my garden. It's dried up, but it's been a wet morning, so we're going to see if we can scarify and what that does in this sort of wet condition. Have a look. So we've already been up and down. We need to go across now. It's pulling up some of the moss, but we're going to just put the setting on a bit deeper. See if that does it any better. So we don't put a back box onto the scarifier because you'd just be stopping every 2 minutes to empty the little bag that comes with it. So we go throughout the whole grass, and the entire area is raked by hand. And show you some of the other piles. So a lot less than we got before, if you see that video, but still pulling it out nonetheless. I can't help but think that we need to do another cross in the same session while it's dug in and it's a fresh scarify. So we'll see. There's plenty of moss still coming up. Piles of moss everywhere. So it's answered a couple of questions for me. Can you scarify in the wet when it's literally raining? Yes, that's fine. And we're actually going, so we've been across, we're at the back of the garden now, we've been across, and now I'm going on the diagonal, and we're still pulling up plenty of moss. And Steve's getting back on the raking up there, so it's going to be worth doing. So we've already raked it and scarified it once today, and remember before where it was originally done up and down and massive amounts were pulled out. So this is a bit more of the fine tuning, and I think it helps to go across yourself in the same session on the same day. Okay, so we've brought a bit up this end, but yeah, it's been worthwhile. It's pulled a fair bit more up. So that's the second time today, third time in total this year, but it won't have been done for years and years. And these are the piles that Steve's raking together, so making his way across the lawn. And not got too long left, so we'll get a wriggle on this one. And now the scarifying's out of the way, we've done enough for now with the blade attachment, the dethatcher. So we'll be able to start laying some grass seed and then just mowing it and seeing that seed set. And then the next time we scarify might be in the summer or later into the autumn, more likely, but we'll see. 5 daffodils now in the garden, so that's nice to see. One over here. And there was something really nice I wanted to show you. It's been blossoming all throughout the winter, but it's put on a fresh set of flowers, and it's this. It's a big old bush, and this is what the flowers look like. They've got a light scent on them, and there's this little thing below it. It's looking good right now. I've noticed something else as well that I saw in the other garden. I'll have to dig out its name from the comments. Thanks for the person who took the time to identify it and let us know what it was. But we've got one ourselves. It was in the garden where we do the lawn in amazing stripes. But we've got this. It's a very early flowering plant, and there's something a bit odd. Oh, okay, so it's new leaves. That's what they were saying as well in the comments. The new leaves are coming out as red. Oh, so that's a cool plant to have, because it flowers early and then it gives you different coloured leaves like the firebush. I think I like that plant. And we've got a random copper beech there with the sort of the coppery leaves that stay on in winter. But starting to notice the odd different thing now. Alright, on to the next one.